students melted away. I love you. She smiled at me, then touched the side of my face. Good, because I love you too. We shared the most magical kiss of my life. Then I felt her body tense up. What's wrong? She was looking over my shoulder at someone across the room. I turned and saw a wild-eyed biker-looking guy watching her. He had a tattoo under his eye and a few scars down his neck. He couldn't see me, but I could see him. Nothing. It's not nothing. Who is that? It's just some jerk that I met a few days ago. Don't worry about it. All that matters is us. Right now. Right here. We kissed again, and I quickly forgot about anything else. I looked up at the sparkling strobe light above us. I was in heaven. The next night, we were supposed to meet up at my place when she didn't show up. I called and texted her, but she didn't respond. I went over to her house, snuck into her window like I always did since we were 6 years old, and saw her laying in bed. Chrissy? She didn't respond. Hey babe, you alright? I tried to shake her, and she still didn't move. My heart sank, and I felt a terrible chill travel up my spine. Chrissy, please, wake up, please. I rolled her over towards me, and saw her eyes were wide open, and she wasn't breathing. Oh no, Chrissy, wake up. I felt for a pulse, and my worst fears came true when I didn't find one. Tears flooded my eyes, and I called 911, but it was too late. 3 days later, I was standing at her funeral. Her mother sat trembling in the front row. I didn't cry because the authorities said that she overdosed on fentanyl. Chrissy hadn't even smoked a cigarette, or even tried one puff. She hadn't even tried a glass of champagne. She had watched her uncle pass away from drugs and alcohol, and swore she would never touch anything. I was fixated at what actually happened and who was responsible, and I knew it had something to do with one of the Iron Vultures. They're a notorious biker gang, and actually had the nerve to show up to her funeral. When I looked across Chrissy's grave at their leader, Deacon Kovacs, my fists clenched and my guts churned because I know he's hiding something. He was the same guy at our prom, and either him or someone from their gang did this to the girl I've loved ever since I was 3 years old. My father, Frank, put his arm on my shoulder, doing his best to comfort me. He had been a cop for over 20 years and also knew when something didn't sit right. On the way home after the funeral, I turned to my father. You know as well as I do that someone from the Iron Vultures is responsible. His eyes darted at me, nervous. Are you saying what I think you're saying? I nodded. You've been saying you wanted someone on the inside to expose their corruption. Well, what's better than a teenage kid that seems like he needs a family to be a part of? My father took in a long, deep breath. Please don't do it, son. I'm begging you. You're just a kid, and it's gonna be the most violent, disturbing thing you'll ever do. These people are savages, pure animals that will stop at nothing to destroy anyone that's in their way. I get it, Dad, but I can't let the memory of Chrissy down and let them get away with it. She deserves some form of justice. He understood. All right, well, I know that even if I forbid you from doing it, you'd do it anyway, wouldn't you? There is nothing that will stop me, Dad. That's what I thought you'd say. Well, listen up. You need to know that there are some lines you will have to cross that you can't ever come back from, and those choices you'll make will haunt you for the rest of your life. I felt the weight of that land hard on me and nodded. I understood. Dad swallowed some pills that always calmed him down. I learned how to ride a Harley and researched everything I needed to know about biker gangs. Dad got me police files on the Iron Vultures, and I studied them thoroughly. 5 months later, I had successfully worked my way into riding at the back of the Iron Vultures motorcycle line, wearing a leather cut that read, Prospect. The Iron Vultures were known for running guns and drugs from here in Detroit all the way down to Florida. We pulled over at a gas station, and I watched all the local cars fearfully scatter as we took over all the gas pumps. President Deacon waved me over. I want you to go inside and tell the cashier that we'll be filling up all our bikes and we won't be paying a penny. And if he's got a problem with that, teach him a lesson. Can you handle that, Prospect? My gut turned to stone, and my palms started sweating. I didn't have a choice but to agree. This was another test. Not a problem. I entered the gas station and approached the cashier. He was an old man and reminded me of my grandfather. There was an old picture of him in military fatigues. Hey, so, we're gonna take as much gas as we need to and we won't be paying for it. Got it? He gritted his teeth. And if I say no, what happens then? I felt awful putting him in this situation. Look, man, I'm just following orders. You don't want to give us any trouble. And what if I do? I'm too old to be scared of you corrupt bastards. I don't care what you do to me. He reached under the counter for something. Don't do that. I leaped over and saw that he was holding a shotgun and grabbed it away from him. Let go, old man. I ripped the shotgun out of his hands and he fell to the floor and clutched his chest. I was momentarily horrified and thought, what if I'm responsible for this man having a heart attack? I kneeled down to him. Are you all right? You don't care about anyone other than yourself. I hate everything your kind stands for. I felt so terrible because I wanted to tell this poor old guy the truth. I was doing this to bring these assholes down, and I agree with him. They make me sick as well. I'm sorry you feel that way. I helped him up, waited until the last biker filled up his tank, took one last sad look at him, and left. When I got back on my bike, Deacon watched me closely. I tried to look tough, but I think he saw through it. My dad dad said to be as honest as I could and use my real name with these guys. These maniacs were experts at smelling out a rat, so I didn't have long to find and gather real evidence that would bring this whole biker gang to their knees and make them pay for what they did to Chrissy. We made it back to the clubhouse, which was a converted slaughterhouse with a chapel that had a long oak table and a bar in the back. I slept in an attic room above the chapel. There was a cot, a chest of drawers, no windows, but a loose floorboard where I kept a small notebook of every transaction I had witnessed. I also kept a photograph of Chrissy on the beach the summer she turned 16. I was writing a note when my door swung open. I quickly hid my notebook behind my back and saw Tonga, one of the lieutenants. "Yo, Prospect, my girl wants to talk to you. Don't be weird." He walked away, and his girlfriend Grace, who was also Chrissy's best friend, entered in tears. "I just need someone to talk to that knew her, and no one knew her better than you." "Yeah, of course. I can't get over it. I wake up crying from nightmares every night, and it's the same one. I see Chrissy's face and she says the same thing every time." "What does she say?" "Nothing is as it seems." "Do you know what she means by that?" I felt my stomach tighten and tense up because I had to be very careful with what I said next. She had been connected to the Iron Vultures for years and would immediately go and tell Deacon if she even suspected anything. "You were with her the night she died. Can you tell me about what you two did?" "Yeah, we were partying downstairs by the pool table and I was drinking, but she wasn't. You know how she gets. Then she went to the bathroom and was gone for a while, like at least 20 minutes. Then she came back with a really terrified, sad look in her eyes and a black eye. I asked her what had happened and she just shook her head, unable to talk." "Did you see anyone go into the bathroom with her?" "Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. The guys here are crazy." That made my stomach turn. "Who went in with her?" She hesitated, looked down at the ground. "Deacon." Hearing that was like being stabbed in the heart. He doesn't want anyone in the club to find out what he did because the rules they supposedly live by don't ever harm a woman or a child. He could be ousted if the other guys found out. "Thank you for telling me this, but I don't know if I can do anything about it." She leaned in close and whispered, "I just needed to talk to someone, and I don't know why you're here, but I know that it's not because you want to be a vulture." She grinned at me, as if she was totally onto me. I looked away, nervous. "Don't worry, your secret's safe with me." She walked out. The next morning, the senior members met around the long oak table, and I stood at the back, where a prospect stands. They talked about a missing crystal meth shipment from Detroit and a drug dealer in Ann Arbor that was a part of it in some way. Plus, a Detroit cop who had been parked down the street from the clubhouse 3 nights in a row. I kept my face still when they mentioned the cop, because I knew exactly which cop it was. My dad. Sweat formed on my forehead and I gritted my teeth. I told him 3 weeks ago to stop hanging around because eventually he'll get caught. Tonga raised his hand to speak. "Let me take care of the cop." Deacon nodded. I knew I had to say something if I was to try and save my dad. "Can I be a part of that, sir?" A few bikers around the table glared at me for speaking out of turn, and then one of them slapped me across the face. "You don't get to speak, Prospect. Besides, isn't our copper on the inside supposed